Hey everyone, welcome to this mod preview video on the Massey Ferguson 54 series by AMG Modding. Now, the first thing I just want to say is big thank you to AMG Agri Modding for sending me this and having a quick look at it. I am absolutely taken back by this mod. This package, this series of the Massey Ferguson 54 range it's outstanding. It really is. The detail that he's gone into is just to a T. It's basically just crisp. It's everything you want it to be, and if you're a Massey Ferguson fan, tell you now, this is a mod for you. It really is. So before I show you all the details of the actual mod itself, it's basically just the 54 series. You've got all the variations of the way the shape is on the tractor, so you've got different bonnet styles and different obviously engine sizes. And not just that, you've actually got the different paints that you can have. So you've got the silver, you've got the black beauty as it's called on this, 50 anniversary series as well. But I will show you that in detail. We'll go through each one. Right, so let's just have a quick look at these tractors then. I will go through them one by one and show you what you can actually get and all the modifications. There's plenty to choose from. There's plenty of ways to customize these Massey Fergusons depending on how you want it. But the basic gist of it is this mod's going to allow you to get technically six styles of tractors. There's actually three, but there's the first gen and the second gen of each model. So over here you've got the large frame, which comes in the first gen on the left and the second gen on the right. And then over here you've got the small frame, and then you've got again the first gen with them three and the second gen with them three. And then just over here you've got this thing called the steep bonnet, which you can probably really tell it's quite distinct. The bonnet just slopes down, and again this is the first gen, and then the second gen over here. Now we'll go through them one by one, so I think the best thing for me to do is just show you the mod itself, where you find it and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to go from in the menu here, your shop, you can pick it up, and then obviously as you've got the mod installed you can go into here, which is where the mods and DLCs, you can obviously find it as the Massey Ferguson 54 series, or you can go and find individually the tractors. So you'll find that two of the tractors out of the three are in small, and then there's one in medium. So if we just go to the small one first, we'll go through from left to right as I've placed them in this workshop, or garage really, it's more like a shed, irrelevant. Anyway, so as you can see, this is the 54 series steep bonnet Gen 1 and Gen 2. So these are the ones where they've got the bonnet that slopes down. So we'll start off with the first. So as you can see, it's really detailed, great textures. Obviously it seems like it's got a higher poly count, to be honest, because it really just does stand out. It's quite crisp. But again, you've got here, so if you go to configuration package, you've got the basic tractor, which is this. So this is just the bare minimum, basically. You've got no PTO, no front loader attachment, no beacons, no different type of lights, so you can have LED and stuff. But you can actually go through these, and you can go to used tractor. Now, if you do notice with used tractor, the paint becomes a little bit more sun-kissed, as I call it. It's a bit faded. And that's really nice, that is, how he's gone about doing that. And it's not just that, it's the actual... the decals, I always pronounce that wrong, but the decals as well, they are quite faded as well. So it is pretty much is what you'd expect when it's just a bit of a tractor that's, it's been outside a bit, it's had a bit of weather to it, and it's obviously showing that, but it's not too much. It's not like the paint's chipped off. It still looks pretty good to sell, and it just, I love that kind of feature. Now, these used tractors 1, 2, and 3 that you can buy, they're all different kind of packages. So if I just go into the README file that was actually handed to me by AMG, which is really helpful, I do appreciate that, but it kind of gives a lot of details into it. So if I quickly just find the used packages, so the used tractor number 1, which is what we're on now, this package is a front loader spec tractor with predefined options. It has faded paint and dealer sticks on the cabin to show it has a second-hand machine. This was done to give players the realistic option of buying a machine as it is. So that's pretty cool in itself. But that's the first one. So if you then go to the number 2, as above, but this tractor is more mid-tier spec with a front weight. And then the number 3 is this is a higher spec machine, and it comes with front linkage, PTO, among other options. So you can see that the beacons are up there as well. So you can actually buy these as used. Now you're obviously going to still pay quite a premium for it because they're not technically on the second-hand market, but they just look a little bit more second-hand. I absolutely love that one. Even with the PTO itself, the fact that it's got the shield or the cover, the yellow shield and cover, that's really realistic to see as well. I absolutely love this, and I've always liked Massey Ferguson's. I mean, I kind of prefer New Holland. That's always been my tractor, but I would love to use these on a save game, on a series, because of the fact they're so good inside the cab and on the outside of the cab. And my hat's completely taken off for AMG for this, because not only has he put a load of details in to make it as realistic as possible, it feels realistic when you're actually inside the cab. So let's go to the next one. So you've got Black Beauty. Now, as you can see, there's less options as well for the used tractors, so you pretty much just get them as it is, as you'd expect, but you can obviously modify the tyres. So if we just go to the Black Beauty, now this again is technically the base, the standard version. So if we just go to the basic tractor, the Black Beauty is the basic tractor, but then you can obviously put your modifications on, which there is quite a lot of. Now everything I'm showing you now applies to all the other tractors, every single one. So even though I'm showing you this quite in depth on this, I won't be going into it again on the other tractors. I'm just trying to show you that each single tractor out of the 6 that I've got inside the garage right now, they can all be modified in this way. So not only can you have the Black Beauty like this, you can have the other ones like the Black Beauty, and you can also then obviously modify the tyres. So the next one is the Silver Special, looks pretty cool. And then next is the 50-year special edition. Now, I do like this because you can see that it says Massey Ferguson 1958 2008 50, and it also says it on the back, and you can see it there. Do like that a lot. Now you can actually have that sticker on the red, on the black. It doesn't really matter, but it's just an option. If you buy the 50-year special edition, you get the white paint as well. This one's quite unique. It says this tractor comes with a bright orange roof and bodywork, and it's often bought by councils and organisations to do work along roads, in airports, etc. So you can expect this to be more of a, instead of being on a farm, this is probably going to be used for something else a lot of the time when you see this colour Massey Ferguson. Really nice to have the option as well. And then finally, what you've got is the premium tractor. Now this one basically offers all the customization. It's all unlocked. So by picking the premium tractor, you get all these customizations unlocked. It means that you can pretty much just go and spend as much money as you want because you want the best Massey. And it is really nice to have that. So it's got bodywork, mesh, rim colours are available, as well as the 50th edition decals as well. So if we just try and pick some now, we'll have a quick just mess about. You've got Michelin tyres, Continental, you know, what you'd expect basically. But let's go to the Trelleborg. So we've got small tyres currently, wide tyres, extra wide tyres number 2, and then real twin wheels on the front as well, narrow wheels, and a second edition of narrow wheels, and then a third one which is narrow twin wheels. So you have really got quite a selection there. If I was going to go with one, I'd probably pick a wider one. Do like that. And then the 50th edition decals, you can put them on. Standard roof. Now if you want to change that to this kind of roof, which I always think is really good if you've got front load, I think that's what it's actually designed for, so you can actually see if you're trying to lift something high. You've obviously got the option as well to change that. Beacons, you can obviously have both, left or right. It depends which way you want to go about that. Pretty much what you'd expect on that. And then work lights, you've got halogen. You've got halogen plus roof lights, halogen front lights, rear, LED roof lights, and then I think eventually, if you just go to the dearest one, you basically get all the lights as LED. Fenders, so you've got a wide fender here, or you can have the standard narrow fender. So if you look, the fender is actually coming in and out. Again, depends what you fancy. I mean, I'd say the wide is probably better to have, but you might prefer the look of the narrow. Mud guards, so you can have all mud guards. You can have just the ones at the rear. Again, or you can just have the ones at the front. Attachments, so you can have a 3-point and a PTO. You can have a 3-point and a 170 kilogram weight net, which is just there. I don't know if you can just make that out. If you just go to 3-point, you can see that it disappears. So if I go back, you'll see the weight reappear. So it's actually just sitting a little bit behind the 3-point linkage. And then you've got the option to have weights as well. So you obviously can scale it up and down depending on what you want. And you get 2 style of weight, which is actually included in the mod itself. So not only have you got the tractors, you do have 2 custom weights, which are really nice as well. So if I was going to do that, I'd get the 3-point linkage and PTO. And then also what you've got is the option to have a front loader. You've got the 2 that you would normally expect to see within Farming Simulator 22. And then your engine size. So we haven't talked about the engine size much, but this one starts at 86 horsepower. You can increase it to 96, 110, and then 125, and that's your maximum. So that's with the smaller the steep bonnet. And then again, what you can do is, even though it's premium, you can try and pick your paint colour. You can have the Massey Ferguson red, old paint, which is what we've picked, black, silver, white, and then obviously that orange. It's entirely up to you what you do. You've got your front mesh paints, and then a side mesh colour. So if you want it to be a bit strange, you could mix that up a bit. I think it all looks good anyway. And there you go. So that's the Gen 1. So let's have a quick look at the Gen 2 then. But what we'll do is we'll have a look around. So I've put down here, this is the Gen 1 we've just been looking at. So you can see that that's the basic, and you've got the premium with all its extras, and the front weight as well that you can actually buy within the mod itself. And then I've gone with the basic Black Beauty. So this is the second gen. So I don't know if you can tell the difference. It kind of, there isn't much difference, but there is just the slight touches. It's quite hard to distinguish between the two when it comes to the steep bonnet, but there is some slight subtle differences between the first gen and the second gen. When you get down to the larger ones, you kind of see it a little bit more clearly. But yeah, you've obviously got the option to get the first gen or the second gen. But how good do these look? I mean, they really do. They look superb. Honestly, I would quite happily use these tractors for a long period of time, just because I know how well they look inside the cab as well, which has always been important to me, to have a nice cab, because a lot of the time you want to be playing first person. If you're trying to be a bit more realistic, having a tractor that looks really good inside the cab makes a massive difference. So we've looked at the second gen of the steep bonnet. So now let's just have a quick look at the small frame, but we'll go again into the shop to do this a bit better. So if we go to the mod, and we want the small frame Gen 1, small frame Gen 2 there, we'll just have a quick look at the first gen. So as you can see, really nice shape to this tractor, quite popular. And look at the detail again. It really is crazy. Even the back, or the whole unit at the back. So again, you've got all the same. I won't show you too much of that. I'll just go into premium and show you that you can mainly, all you're going to see difference in here is the engine size, so you can go up to 135. But the exact same applies for all that extras you can put on. But the difference is the bodywork now. We're looking at different style of tractor shape and the horsepower that it can go up to. So again, this is the Gen 1 basic, and then to the right you've got the Gen 1 premium, and look how good that looks. That is a beast of a tractor. And then I went for the orange style again as a basic, just to show you something a little bit different. And then this is the second gen, so I don't know if you can tell the difference. It is subtle. So this is the basic, that's your premium, and then this is technically a premium Black Beauty. So yeah, that's the second gen small frame, and this is the premium one of that again, with the Massey Ferguson weight that you can get as well. They've completely won me over, these tractors have. I just love the look of this style. This style, I think my favourite one, I'd have to choose one, is, I don't know yet, but I'm going to have to pick a favourite by the end. So finally, let's have a look at the large frame. Now you can see the difference in size over here. You can even see the difference between the first gen and the second gen model already. The bonnet looks a lot more distinct. It looks a little bit more angry on the other one. I do like it. And it kind of bows down. I think it is longer in length, to be honest, as well. I think it might just be a little bit longer. So this is the basic, as you can tell. This is the basic model, no extras. This is your premium with all the extras. And then this, again, is the premium, but with the silver paint. So finally, we're just going to look at the second gen model of the large frame. This is the basic again. Pretty nice. I mean, I do like that tractor. I'd say that maybe at least one of these two are definitely my favourite. I kind of like the way they look. And then this is the premium model of the second gen. And as you can tell, it's got all the extras. It looks sweet. It really does. And then finally, premium. But I went with the white 50-year anniversary edition. White weight. And I tried to put a front loader on with the similar colours. I think it looks pretty good. So that is pretty much all the tractors you can get. Now, I've got them all out on show so you can take a look just to see what you can expect. Interested to see from your comments what you would choose. Which one's your favourite? I mean, are you a Massey fanboy anyway and you just have them all? Or are you like me and probably go with these larger spec ones just because I like the bonnet of them? I really do. I kind of like a tractor that looks a little bit more angry, and this one over here, I feel like it, yeah, it's a lot more distinct on the front. But then again, even these, I mean, on a small style British map, these would be perfect. I don't mind these steep bonnets as well. But let's have a quick drive around then and show you inside the cab next. Now, I think I'm going to go with this one. Oh, quickly, just before I do that, I will actually show you the specs on the medium one because I don't want to miss that out. So let's go for the Gen 1. And again, all the added extras are on there. But if you want to go and check the horsepower, you can max up to 155 and you can go, it starts at 150. So pretty much you've got two options, a 150 and a 155, which is the 5465 and the 5470. There we go. So over here I've gone with the 5470. So this is technically the first gen, not the second gen, large frame, and it's got pretty much all the extras on. So it's a premium edition. So let's have a quick look inside. So as you can see, really nice inside, really well detailed, but it's not just the detail that stands out. Now in the Massey Ferguson, I don't know if I can just bring my mouse up here. I can. Over here, this here is the shifter. So it's in neutral right now with the engine off. When it's down, it goes to reverse. When it's up, it goes to forward. Now the reason they had it set up like that is because say you got your right hand over here inside the cab and you're doing something with the front loader, for example, or anything that you've got no right hand and it needed free, that left hand can still be by the steering wheel and you can change to forward gear, reverse gears, and then over here, this little tool here is what you shift up gear, shift down, and the little orange little kind of button on the side, and if you can make it out, that's actually kind of like a clutch in effect. You press that and you can shift between the gears as well. So you've got A, B, C, D on the dashboard here, and as you're shifting through the gears, you'll get to like D, for example, then you can go to gear 2, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, and D, and then up to 3, A, B, C, and D. So you get my gist, that's how you move through the gears. But the good thing about it in this cab is you see that all happening. You really do. You even see the numbers changing. You can see it go to reverse, to forward, you'll see it go from A, B, C, and D. And then same as well when you put the beacon lights on. This lights up. Little things like that I do like. And they just make the difference. It really does. So let's start it up. We'll have a quick drive. I'll try and increase the sound of the engine. Not too much that obviously zones me out. But I'll try and so you can still hear it. So as you can see, I'm in neutral. If we just go to drive, you can see that gear shifter on the left hand side just moved to forward gear. And at the moment we're in C gear, neutral. But if you watch this over here as I start driving, just here, you'll see it change the number wise. So it's in 1, we go to 2 now, I think we're in, or 3. Now we're in gear D, but it's hard for me to show you what it is because of where it is. It's behind that kind of lever. But if we now go back, we can start reversing. You can see that this goes down to reverse. Yeah, it's really good. It is. It's what you want, exactly like. You want to feel like it's realistic in that sense. So let's have a quick look, turn the lights on. You can see that the dashboard just a bit highlighted up then. Have you just made that out? Probably better to show you that in the dark. If we turn the hazards on, the beacon, sorry, you can see that light's just gone, and even the switch itself just moved a touch. So you can just make that out. And then also let's turn our indicators. It's got the right indicator, left indicator, and then finally let's put the hazards on. I think that's this one. So hazards, we've got the beacons on, and this is what it looks like. So it's nice to actually see that in cab as well. So if we just turn our hazards back off now and just go for a quick drive, we may as well. So actually, one more thing that always stands out for me inside a cab is I've driven some tractors within the game, and sometimes it just feels like the position of them might be a little bit off, like you're too high, or you're too low, or you're too forward or back. This one for me just feels spot on, like I can see just right out the left and to the right and straight on as well. Now obviously you can change that with field of view and stuff, but I always keep my field of view to set to how I like to play without having too much kind of fisheye and stuff. But this one, it just sits just right. And I just like the cab itself. So yeah, I kind of been won over by the Massey Fergusons. I really have. So I think that's everything. I mean, hopefully I haven't missed anything out, but yeah, keep an eye out for this. Now, AMG has let me know that he will be sending it to Giants hopefully this week. So by the time it's tested, he's done all the tests. He hopes that it passes first time, obviously. So keep a lookout. It should be coming to Giants mod up soon. But yeah, hats off to AMG modding for this. It's an outstanding package of the 54 series Massey Ferguson. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator.